Evidence drinking wine in moderation may improve mental health, benefit your heart, and help you live longer. Indiana is home to more than 70 wineries, including Black Hawk Winery in Sheridan. And Dr. Deb Miller and her husband are the owners of that business. And Deb, this is so interesting to me. She's a superwoman. She's a veterinarian. She's also in the wine business. In fact, you're just joining us during your lunch
Briefly,
break.
yes.
That's right. How did you get into the wine business?
Well, John and I have both loved wine for a very long time, and he has been an amateur beer and winemaker since he was about 16 years of age, and so we joke that this is a hobby that got out of control, but we're completely delighted to be part of the Indiana wine industry now. It's a really fun place to be making wine.
Well, so let's talk a little bit about the Vintage Indiana
Sure.
Wine and Food Festival this weekend. You know, what is it? Because there's more than just wine. Where can
Right.
people go, and should you buy your ticket in advance?
Absolutely, yes. This is the 17th annual Vintage Indiana event, and there is more than wine. We have 30 different wineries, and they're all serving up to 300 different types of wine, so you have lots of choices. But there's food there. We have multiple food vendors. Indiana Artisan is also going to have some folks there selling artwork too. There's live music all day long as well, so it's going to be a really exciting day. But you're right, you do need to get tickets. It's going to be a really busy day, and you can get your tickets at Marsh or at vintageindiana.com. For $25 in advance or $35 at the door.
So how does this work when you have your ticket and you go in? Do you have tickets for samples, or can you just drink whatever?
You actually, when you go in, you give them your ticket. They give you a glass, and then you can go and sample as many wines as you want. And I highly recommend you hit as many wineries as you can, because there's a lot of really great variety out there, and you're going to find some wines that you didn't know about and some wineries that you may not have discovered yet, and it'll be lots of fun.
Especially yours,
Yes.
award-winning wine. So let's talk about what you brought here today.
So I brought some of the wines that we're going to take with us to Vintage this weekend. So some of the ones you're going to see. We do specialize in drier wines at our winery. So one of our highlights that we're going to be pouring at Vintage is our Maréchal Foch, which is a dry red wine, very similar to a Syrah style wine. This one, as you can see, has won a couple of good recognitions at multiple events. This is an estate wine of ours, made from grapes completely from our vineyard. And then we have our Vidal, which is a newest wine. The only reason it doesn't have a medal is we just haven't sent it anywhere yet.
Well, maybe it's still to get one. All
That's right.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Deb Miller, for joining us today. About 10,000 people are expected to attend this event. We want to remind you it's an adult-only event, and also there is a program for a designated driver. It's a $10 ticket, and a strong emphasis on that as well. So shopping, food, and vendors all Saturday at Military Park. Eyewitness